stopping a petulant laser-eyed narcissist from also becoming immortal.
There is one terrifying truth hiding underneath everything happening in the boys right now, and almost nobody is talking about it. Everyone believes Sister Sage is helping Homelander become stronger. Everyone believes she is building the perfect empire for him. But what if that was never the plan? What if the smartest person on Earth already realized something horrifying about Homelander? That he cannot be controlled forever. That eventually, no matter who stands beside him, Homelander destroys everything around him. Because if you really pay attention to Sage, something feels wrong. She never truly worships Homelander the way everyone else does. Ashley fears him. The Deep obeys him. Firecracker praises him. But Sage? Sage studies him. Every conversation between them feels less like loyalty and more like an experiment. She watches his reactions carefully. She pushes his insecurities. She understands exactly how his ego works. And the scariest part is that Homelander thinks she is on his side. But what if Sage already solved Homelander months ago? What if she secretly created the one thing capable of destroying him forever? Not a weapon, not Soldier Boy, not Butcher, a formula. A version of Compound V powerful enough to erase what Homelander truly is. Not kill him, turn him human. And suddenly, every strange thing Sage has done starts making terrifying sense. Because maybe Sister Sage is not building Homelander's kingdom. Maybe she is preparing the downfall of the most dangerous man alive. The biggest misunderstanding about Sister Sage, the biggest mistake people make when analyzing Sister Sage, is assuming she wants power the same way Homelander wants power. Homelander wants worship. He wants fear. He wants people to look at him like a god. But Sage is fundamentally different. Sage wants understanding. That is what makes her dangerous. She sees systems, patterns, outcomes. She thinks several moves ahead of everyone around her, including Homelander himself. And if Sage truly is the smartest person alive, then she already understands one unavoidable truth. Homelander is unstable. No matter how powerful he becomes, eventually he destroys everything around him. We already watched this happen again and again. He killed Madeline Stillwell. He abandoned Stormfront. He murdered Black Noir. Even Ryan is slowly being psychologically damaged by him. Homelander is like a living nuclear weapon driven entirely by emotional instability, and Sage knows that, which means there is no logical future where she truly believes Homelander should rule permanently. That would contradict her own intelligence. So then the question becomes, why is she helping him? And honestly, the answer may be terrifying, because maybe she is not helping him at all. Maybe she is studying him, preparing for the perfect moment to strike, the real purpose of V1. Now this is where the theory becomes insane. Everyone assumes V1 is simply another upgraded version of Compound V. But what if that is only partially true? What if V1 was never designed to create stronger soups? What if it was secretly designed to erase powers instead? Think about how terrifying that would be. The greatest scientific breakthrough in Vought history would not be creating gods. It would be turning gods back into ordinary humans. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. There is no way Vought created beings like Homelander without also researching emergency ways to stop them, especially after Soldier Boy. And remember something extremely important. Soldier Boy's radiation blast could temporarily remove powers. That detail changes everything, because it proves one massive thing. Soups can be depowered, which means the next logical step would be trying to perfect that process permanently. And who would be intelligent enough to finish that research? Sister Sage, the smartest person on Earth. Suddenly, V1 starts sounding less like an enhancement formula and more like Vought's hidden failsafe, a cure. Or, depending on perspective, a weapon. Why Sage never truly fears Homelander. One of the most fascinating details about Sage is that she never seems afraid of Homelander. Everybody fears him. Ashley fears him. A-Train fears him. The Deep fears him. Even people pretending to support Homelander are terrified underneath the surface. But Sage talks to him differently, almost like she already understands exactly how he works. And that matters, because highly intelligent people stop fearing monsters once they fully understand the monster psychologically. Sage knows exactly which insecurities control Homelander. She knows how badly he craves validation. She knows he confuses fear with love. She knows rejection emotionally destroys him. In many ways, Sage talks to Homelander like a scientist observing a dangerous experiment, not like a follower worshiping a god. And if Sage already solved Homelander psychologically, then creating a biological solution becomes the next logical step. That solution may be V1, a formula engineered specifically for one person, Homelander. Homelander's greatest fear. Most people think Homelander fears death, But that is not actually true. Homelander fears weakness. He fears becoming ordinary. Everything about his identity revolves around superiority. He needs to feel above humanity because deep down, he is terrified of being insignificant. That is why aging scares him. That is why public opinion controls him emotionally. That is why rejection completely destroys him psychologically. Because underneath all the power, Homelander is still the lonely child from the lab, desperately begging to be loved. And Sage understands that better than anyone, which means she also understands something horrifying. The cruelest punishment for Homelander is not death, it is humanity. Imagine Homelander waking up one morning unable to fly, unable to use laser vision, unable to hear heartbeats, unable to intimidate anyone anymore. For the first time in his life, he would feel vulnerable, human. And psychologically, that would destroy him far worse than any physical battle ever could. Because without powers, who is Homelander really? That question terrifies him more than anything. Ryan changes everything. But then we get to Ryan. And this is where the emotional core of the theory becomes devastating. Because Ryan represents the future. And Sage is smart enough to see exactly what Homelander is doing to him. Homelander is teaching Ryan superiority, teaching him emotional detachment, teaching him that ordinary humans are beneath them. And if Ryan fully becomes another Homelander, the world is finished. In fact, Ryan could eventually become even stronger than his father. That possibility alone could force Sage into action. Because from Sage's perspective, one unstable Homelander is already catastrophic. Two Homelanders would be unstoppable, which means depowering Homelander may become necessary before Ryan fully transforms psychologically. And honestly, that would be one of the darkest storylines the boys could ever do. Ryan realized his father was never truly a god, just a broken man hiding behind power. Why Homelander trusting Sage is his biggest mistake. Homelander has one fatal weakness. He desperately wants intelligent people to respect him. Most people around Homelander obey him because they are terrified. But Sage is different. She challenges him. And ironically, that makes Homelander trust her more. For the first time in years, Homelander feels intellectually understood, but that trust may become the very thing that destroys him. Because if anyone could secretly get close enough to use a depowering formula on Homelander, it would be Sage, not Butcher, not Starlight, Sage. The one person Homelander lowered his guard around. And that would perfectly fit the tragedy of Homelander's character. He would not lose because someone was stronger than him. He would lose because he misunderstood the smartest person in the room. The most terrifying ending possible. Now imagine the final confrontation. Everyone expects another giant battle. Explosions, laser fights, chaos. But instead, Homelander suddenly feels something wrong. His hearing disappears. His strength fades. His laser vision stops working. And for the first time in his life, real fear appears on his face. Not rage, fear. Then he looks at Sage, calm, emotionless, prepared. And in that moment, Homelander realizes the truth. She was never building his empire. She was studying how to destroy it. And the scariest part? Nobody even needs to fight him anymore. Because suddenly Homelander becomes the one thing he always hated. Human, weak, mortal. That would honestly be the perfect ending for the boys. Not because Homelander dies, but because he is finally forced to experience what ordinary people feel every single day. Pain, fear, vulnerability. And maybe that is Sage's real experiment. Not whether Homelander can be defeated, but can a monster become human again? At first, Sister Sage looks like Homelander's greatest ally. But underneath the surface, every detail points towards something much darker. She studies him too carefully, understands him too deeply, manipulates him too easily. And the existence of a mysterious V1 formula opens the door to a terrifying possibility. That Sage's real plan was never helping Homelander rule the world. It was creating the one weapon capable of ending the Soup era permanently. Not through war, not through violence, but by turning gods back into men. And if this theory is true, then Homelander may have already lost the moment he trusted her. Because the smartest person alive may have realized the only way to save humanity is not killing Homelander. It is forcing him to become human. And honestly, that might be the cruelest punishment imaginable for someone who spent his entire life believing humanity was beneath him.